What's up, gamers? It's your boy, Launchpad 1412. Excited to be back with some more Madden 20 gameplay. And I kind of forgot that this is October, man. Like this is the month of Halloween. So you know what? Let's talk. Let's talk about some Halloween stuff a little bit. This is a little bit off the. This is a little bit off the. I thought a horrible interception. That was my fault right there, man. He should have ran that back for 6. That was totally my fault. This is a little bit off the rails, off the Richter scale a little bit, but but you know what? It's on my mind, so man, let's just talk about it. Okay, I was flipping through the channels, and I seen a movie that I hadn't seen in years. This movie called Ernest Scared Stupid. Now, I don't know if any of you've ever heard of this movie called Ernest Scared Stupid, but it is definitely a when I was younger, I remembered it being a kid's movie. I just remember Ernest just being, extremely silly and goofy and just, or funny or whatever you want to call it. Probably, maybe a combination of Jim Carrey and, I don't even know who I'm not even sure maybe who I'll compare him with. With the exception of Jim Carrey. It was kind of what that, I guess what you consider outrageous comedy to a degree. But anyway, I'm watching the movie. And one of the things I know that stood out to me, this is a kid's movie, but there are some parts that are really, really creepy, though, that I can see that would freak some kids out. So I don't know if I would let my son watch it. He's only 5, or even my son gets about 10 or 11 years old. Maybe I'll pop that in if he's into that type of movie. But if not, then I probably wouldn't even watch it. Wouldn't even watch it with him. But my 14-year-old might be really into it, though. She really likes scary movies, so she might find it, and she likes the kid movies too at the same time. So that combo might be perfect for her, even though she probably gonna think Ernest is a lunatic or something. But the thing that stood out to me in the movie is the tree house, man. I remember when I was younger, I always wanted to build a tree house. Now, I know this might sound wild. I know you're probably like, LP, what in the world are you talking about right now? But man, when I was younger, building a tree house was a huge thing. I never built one though. We never got around to building one. Matter of fact, we never even got around to building a clubhouse if it didn't involve, because we tried to do it with sticks, but that just didn't work. For some strange reason, we didn't understand we needed things to tie the sticks together. We just didn't get that far. But a tree house, this was just, this was without question out of our realm. You know what I mean? For a kid to even fathom that he would do something like that. But I knew a kid, right? I knew a kid that had a tree house. So one of the first things I know who goes outside, like, man, you got a tree house up there? So we go to the tree house. It's a tree house, but it was built with like toys, like huge toy things that build a house. Like you know how when you have one of them big boxes, you want to build like a little house inside of, your little son's room, or your little brother or little sister got a little house that they can crawl in. It was basically like that, but a little bit bigger. And it was enough for about 4 kids, so it was about 3 of us up there. Me and my boy, and then I forget who the other kid was. I think I was about 10 years old, 11 years old at the time. Now we was up there and we were just sitting there. We were just sitting there, and there was really nothing exciting about it, because think of it is, once you got up to the tree, which was fairly, it was fairly tall. The tree was, of course it's a tree, but the tree was, it was kind of up there, like you couldn't just jump off the tree, and be fine. You had to climb back down the tree, so you wouldn't hurt yourself. But it just wasn't a lot of space to run around, so we just found ourselves bored, so we went in the house and started playing some video games. I know this might sound funny, but building a tree house, man, it was a big deal. It was definitely, something like a big deal when I was a kid. So when I seen that movie and I seen that Ernest had that huge tree house, I said, man, I always wondered what it took to build one. I mean, of course, I don't want to build one now, at 36 years old, but it was just something, something different to talk about. I know I talk about the game all the time, so you guys know how I do. Every now and then I hit you guys with something different. But this is October, man, so I'll definitely, come through with some Halloween stories. Some Halloween parties that I actually went to when I was younger. Just to switch the content up just a little bit. Have a little bit more fun with the channel. But at any rate, let's get into the game, man. 3rd and 18. My opponent has the Chargers. If you don't know, we have the Indianapolis Colts, And I'm not sure what was going through my mind in this game. I had a passing mentality. I think I only ran the ball 6 times this whole game. But I was on some passing type time in this game, man. Look at a nice completion. I'm right there. Do not do this. Do not pick the Indianapolis Colts and start going pass happy like I did in this game. This was not a good idea. The reason why this was a good idea, as we do run it right here, though. We definitely try to run it in. We actually end up running in on the third, on top of the fourth quarter. Thank goodness, man. We needed that touchdown. But the reason why it's not a good idea because Jacoby Brisket is not the best passer for some reason. I'm not sure why, but it's like he passes like a backup. And I'm not really sure why they got him on here passing like that because he is a pretty sound passer. I'm not saying he's like Warren Moon or anything, but he's a pretty good passer. He can pass the ball a little bit, a little bit better than this, but me armed with this knowledge, I still still decided to pass the ball like a nut. So here we are. We got the lead though, 14-7. My opponent gets a beautiful pass on the left hand side. Good pass, good find with my opponent. I don't know what it is, man, but those C routes or those routes where I'm gonna run with my opponent. Those routes where the wide receiver kind of does a post out. They are so hard to stop in this game. I'm not really sure what it is, but they are just extremely difficult. If your guy is not right there or you don't have a really good corner, we're pretty much not going to stop that. We go right over the middle. Take a look at the time. Under 2 minutes left, 14-14. This is a big drive right here. Again, LP be clutch. We end up throwing up away right there. We get sacked. Next play, we get it to Rodgers. Huge catch by Rodgers, and we keep the chain moving. We give it to Rodgers again. I'm sorry, that's a Hilton. I'm sorry. We give it to Hilton. Let's see what he can do. He gets us all the way down to 22. We have field goal range, so we're feeling good. We're just gonna start running the ball. 15 seconds left. We just gotta run the ball, pace ourselves, and hopefully we can kick this this game-winning field goal and get this game over with, man. I'm not trying to spend no more time on this game than what I have to. Field goal right here. We end up kicking it through, and we will take this victory, man. My goodness, man. Now sometimes they I'm not sure what it is with them game-winning kicks, when they give you that different point of view. Sometimes the angles don't be right, so you can miss a kick like that close, like you really couldn't miss it because you might have the arrow or whatever you want to call it, the wrong angle. I'm like, man, this is cause I have missed a few before. I'm like, man, this is nuts. I'm at the 20. I'm at the 20-yard line missing a field goal, game with a field goal because they didn't put me at a certain angle, man. That's why, if you notice, when I was running the ball at the end, I was trying to run right out the middle. So when they hit me with that angle, with that other trajectory, I was straightforward, and even with then, I still felt like it was kind of off, but I kicked it anyway. Thankfully, it went in. Shout out to my opponent. Shout out to my opponent. Much love, much respect, man. Very, very excited to kick these videos out for you guys. I've been at a place where I can be a little bit more consistent. I'm not sure how long it's gonna last, but we'll see. This is your boy Launchpad 1412, and I'm out.